All right, the school meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Bidlin?
Here.
Ms. Brooks? Here. Mr. Ware?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Ms. Scheffler? Here. Ms. Smith?
Here.
Dr. Kirby is absent. Mr. Dooley?
Here.
And Mr. Pierce.
Here. Is there a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting on January 28th?
I have a correction. Last I looked, I was a Ms. instead of a Mr. But things change. Not at the cost
Very good. Is there a motion to accept the change?
I had another question, let me see here if I can. Unfortunately, I didn't highlight it too.
So did I.
Where, let's see.
I know where my question was.
Oh, here it is.
Who wants to
You
go?
go ahead first.
On page 2, the comment about not having issued if we had not issued the 2002 pension obligation bonds, our unfunded liability would have
Under what heading?
page 2 of the minutes, top paragraph, the last sentence.
Or pension obligation bonds, which is
Was the
issued?
number 36 million or was something higher than that?
No, he said 36.
He did?
Yeah.
But I think it should have the word more, 36 million higher
Higher.
rather than 36 million.
Oh, I just kind of thought he said that our unfunded would be 36 instead of 20. If we didn't float the
It
bond.
seemed loaded to me.
I don't know. Yeah, I did too. But that's what he said though.
Yeah, I was gonna,
How do we want to change that? Want to strike the entire sentence and move on, or
Harold's going to be here at 10.
I'm gonna call.
he's going to call it?
Could ask him that.
Kendall, did you have?
Yes, down at the bottom of the same page. I believe that after council's comments, we didn't move forward on that action. This was on about holding the scheduled meetings. I think we decided to strike that. I don't think we ever went ahead on that. Because council commented that we didn't need to because it was already in the bylaws. And so I was sort of getting ahead of myself and had made that as a motion, but it wasn't necessary, so I don't believe that it ever was a unanimous vote.
That's right, because you didn't need to you didn't need to take.
We didn't vote on it. We started to go down that path, but then we didn't vote on it. Yeah. It was unnecessary.
All right, so we'll just table the minutes until Mr. Loeb is on the phone. We can ask him that question and get that clarification. Okay, return and administrative report.
Referrals during the month of January include Kate Howell from Mental Health, John Casey, Department of Transportation, Arnold Gasson, Building and Grounds, Barry McLeod, General Services, Ron Peterson, Department of Transportation, Ronnie Levin, Social Services. Total withdrawals $19,521.81. New retirees: Robin Sagan, Mental Health; Guy Bishop, Probation; Kathleen Polachek, Social Services; Claudina Ortiz, Social Services; Penelope Hall, AWP; Sheila Russo, Social Services; Craig Kaiser, Sheriff's Department; Dave Bankston, Agriculture. Retiree deaths were 3, employee deaths 0, and new hires were 6.
Buildings.
Item B, just 2 billings to report out on both of them. One for Dr. Mandel, the other one for Dr. Panzarella, having to do with due diligence on a disability case. Dr. Mandel, the bill was for $4,868.75. and for Dr. Panzarella, $1,400.
I have a question on that. Is the rate the same for Panzarella as it is for Indow? Do we pay, in other words, do they set the rate, or do we have one contractual rate that we?
I believe that they set the rate, and it would depend upon the type of specialist that is being used.
Yeah, the rate's not the same.
You're with 400.
One's 475.
$400 now.
And just as a reminder, that has, it's in the board packages, but not distributed publicly because of the medical information.
Right, but attorneys were high.
See?
Not this one.
Administrator's report.
You all see copies of my administrator's report. Just a couple of areas, I'm not going to go through them all, just a couple of areas to focus in on. Item number 2, looking at the analysis that we've been doing for evaluating the performance of our pension. And Tim has been working in collecting survey data. He put a survey out, collecting survey data from the other 37 counties and San Luis Obispo. And as noted, what we're looking at is a total or absolute return from each of these counties, as well as from PERS, to compare to PERS. The absolute return is important and probably most, it's going to be most understandable. It's going to be the thing I think that the public kind of latches onto. It's easiest to put into a scorecard type of approach. What we're also looking at is, in order to get that level of return, the type of risk that you incur, and a couple of ways to evaluate that is the risk-adjusted return, which is essentially it's a formula, and trying to put into lay terms, it's a formula where you look at the risk-free return, which is essentially the money market rate deducted from your actual return, and then that is correlated with kind of the basic movement in the market to look at a risk-free or risk-adjusted rate of return. And then also the standard deviation, which is reviewing essentially how much variability you have in your returns, which shows a level of risk. Obviously, we have targets that we go after. We want to see consistently hitting those targets or hitting them over a period of time. The standard deviation takes a 3-year period of time, averages what your return is, and then looks at what the variability is from that 3-year kind of rolling period of time. In that particular case, we only get that for a 5-year, kind of a standard for that information is based upon 5 years. So the information that we're receiving back as a standard deviation and the standard deviation index, or what they anticipated in standard deviation for the 5-year period. In collecting this information, we just wanted to make note that we're collecting it from the counties. They're submitting it. Their financial experts, whether they are in-house or contracted for, are the ones that are providing this information. It is also a part of their annual audited financial reports. So it's reviewed by the auditors. We think the validity is going to be very high on this information. We've received information from 15 of the counties plus PERS. So there's 4 more to go, and we may have to kind of dig into their audited financial reports to get that information. We're hopeful that we'll have that at the end of this week. At that point, we would anticipate that we would develop a report, and we know we've got a broad audience. We've got the general